All right, Toads and Toadettes, we're back again. Today is counter-controlled iteration. Dun, dun, dun. These are super easy, too. Just like our last few videos, actually. We're going to break these down into smaller. I figured, like, the one big problem with the big code that I had you guys do was just a little too much and maybe overwhelm some people, so I wanted to break these down into more bite-size lessons, especially since this is for beginners, and I might have picked up the pace a little too fast. So we're breaking everything down in more bite-sized controlled conditions. And then maybe like later we'll add them all together. Like we'll do like while statements with a controlled iteration or something like that. But for now, we're going to go over controlled iterations. And this is exactly, counter-controlled iterations is exactly what you think it is. It's a counter that goes up or down or whatever you need it to do that controls the number of iterations that a loop will do. So for that, we're just going to do for int I, let's say, equal to 0, and then we'll say I is less than 5, keep it simple, stupid, I plus plus, right? Perfect, like super easy, not very difficult. All right, and with that, console, right line, and then we'll say current value of I, and then plus I, like we did in the last lesson, if you remember. All right, so guys, again, this is super easy. So we're gonna save this real fast. Control S, remember, and then we're gonna run this. Yes, my antivirus is off. Oh, what am I getting yelled at? Oh, it's this. I put that in there for some reason. Silly me. Bomb bomb. Save it again. All right, and we'll see. Perfect. Current value of I is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we stopped it at 5, not less than or equal to 5, just less than 5, less than 5. All right. So let's step through the code like we always do, and then we'll step through and do the talk to me like I'm 5. All right. So we're gonna initialize the counter. Oh my gosh, can I type? No, I'm not gonna be able to type. The counter at I equals 0, or let's say int I equals 0, right? Why? This sets the counter variable of I to start at 0. I starts at 0. Some of you are going to be like, oh, I get it, I know that. That's fine. The triple dash, by the way, is just anytime I hit enter, it forms a new line of comments, which makes it easier when I'm constantly commenting on my code for you guys. So next, we're going to define the loop conditions. This is the I is less than 5, right? This is defining the loop condition, right? This condition determines that whether the loop continues or not. Does the loop continue? Right? As long as I is less than 5, the loop continues. Not 65. Hope I get a reset at 65. That would be nice. All right, so then incrementing the counter. Again, we know this. This is different from how the while loop does it, if you remember. We did it down here. We said, you know, I plus plus right here. You don't do that in a for loop, because especially in a for loop where you're using it as a counter control, you don't need to. You do it right here, which is perfect. So the I plus plus, this is the part that increases the value of I. I always want to capitalize it, but then it doesn't make sense to the code, right? All right, so what to do inside the loop? All right, so then the console dot write line, and again, I'm not gonna make this all extra correct because this is we're doing this mostly as pseudocode. Current value of I. And then, no, that I do want correct, though, because I don't want to confuse my new players. Yes, I called you players. And then, so this is the code block that gets executed in each iteration of the loop. It prints out the current value of I. So, prints out the current value of I, right? Super easy. So again, I know some of you have a hard time with stuff like this. That's okay. I was really bad at algorithms. I didn't understand a lot of stuff when I first started. So we're going to set it up as if we have a set of toy cars lined up at a track, right? So set of toy cars lined up at a track, right? And the loop control, the loop control is the for int I equals 0, I is less than 5, and then, oops, less than 5, and then I plus plus, right? That's the for loop control. This is like setting up the rule for how the game will go. This is the rules for the game, right? This part is like we're playing this game right now. So if your current number is set to 0, we shout we're playing with car number 0, and then if it's 1, we shout now we're playing with car number 1. You could also think of this as the same as we did for the while loop, where it's like it's doing a lap around, and you might be asking, well, if I can do this, why not just do a while loop? Or if I can do a while loop, why not just do a counter-controlled iteration? And they just have their value in different ways, right? So after this, after one lap, I plus plus means I gets a +1 to its current number, right? So if I is 0, then 0 plus 1 equals 1, right? Easy. Boom. And then we go through until I is less than 5. So once we hit 5, so we'll do I plus plus all the way up to 4. And then once I equals 5, the game ends. So the code is playing a game where you start with 0, shout the number you're playing with, then move to the next number. You keep doing this until you played your number, played with 5 numbers. Or again, if you want to go back to the while loop example, same exact thing. Super easy, guys. Not very hard. If that was too easy, I need you guys to start shouting at me in the comments. I need some feedback. I need to know what's going on here, boys and girls. But I hope this is like starting to help you understand code a little bit better. If you like this, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.